Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market, right? But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and as you can see, we are trading right here in this zone that we have been since the 23rd, which was Friday. So we've been trading in this zone for the VIX. That means pre-market support was here around 1601. We're under that slightly at 1598. So from 1598 as support, resistance at 1618 was at 1618. Let's say that. So as of right now, this is our gathering spot for the VIX, but it was already inside a previous gathering spot. So I normally don't mark that. I just leave it the way that it is, just for, charting 101 is what I like to say, right? So as of now, where are our trouble places for the VIX? Pre-market support again at 1601 or this 1598 area. Resistance could be here at the 1609, or I would say the 1618 area, because it could very well trade in this zone. Our trouble places, if we should break past the 1618, which is right above the 20 EMA here at 1620, 1616. If we break this area, we could very well go back to the upside. Just know that we will probably have trouble at the 1625. Again, at the 1637, beyond the 1637, 1663, beyond the 1663, 1672, which puts us back in another gathering spot here. Above the 1672, just know we could possibly have trouble at the 1679 area, which is the ATR trailing stop that's forming now, and the 200 EMA at 1684. Those are places to the upside that I would watch the VIX. Now, where are our trouble places to the downside? If we break under this 1598 area, just know that we could probably have trouble, possibly have trouble at the 1589, under the 1589, 1578, under 1578. Price came back to 1571. So around the 1571 area, if we break that area, we can come back and retest this 1561. Under that 1561, we could very well come all the way back down. Let's see, 1561 around here. Let's see, 1548, under 1548, 1517. So I look at the VIX because it normally gives me a general idea of what's going on with the SPY. So let's see where we are today with the SPY. Looks as if the SPY closed at 562.13. We had a pre-market high of 563.40, which was right here where that ATR trailing stop is. We got rejected there. So where are our trouble places for the SPY? It looks as if we are trading in a zone for the SPY. Also, we have pre-market support here at 562.91. Resistance was around here at the 563.20 area, which was again a previous area gathering spot for us. So where are our trouble places for the SPY? Let's look to the upside. Now, if we break above, continue above the 563.20 area, just know we could possibly have trouble at the 563.34. It seems like we've tried to, break past this area and we had some trouble. Those wicks mean we had some trouble sellers in that area. So I would definitely watch above, the 563.35. If we break that level, just know we could possibly retest the 563.40. Beyond the 563.40, we could possibly have trouble around the 563.50. Now, if we break that 563.50, we could very well continue moving higher with the SPY. Just know that we could possibly have trouble here at 564.84 and 565.26. Those are going to be trouble places for us for the SPY to the upside. Now, to the downside, if by chance we break under, let's say this 562.75, which is the area of support for us. However, we have the 20 EMA at 562.71. So between that 75 and 71 area could be kind of like a strong support area for the SPY. If we break that level, just know we could have trouble at 562.56. Under the 562.56, you see price came here, bounced from here. We know that this is a support area for us, 562.29. So I would definitely watch the 562.29. Under that area, just know that 562.06 again at 561.82, which is really close to this 50 EMA at 561.78. Now, if we break this area of 561.82 and then 561.78, and there's another area of support really close, 561.69. We also have trouble here at this ATR trailing stop. That is at 561.58. So that is really close. Let me see if I can make that bigger without actually doing what I do. So this area is really close support for us for the SPY. And that was the, here at the 79, the 82 area and the 79 area and the 69 area. Just know that that is area of that SPY can find support and bounce. However, if we break this 561.58 area, we have broken through the ATR trailing stop, which I consider that a strong support. And just know, or resistance. Let's just know that if we break this area, we can come back to the 561.49. Under that, we can come back to 561.39. So those are places to the upside and to the downside that I would watch the SPY. If I traded the SPY today, I always tell you trade carefully, and once it goes against your why, get out. Live to trade another day. Make sure you have confirmation as to why you're entering your trades, right? So we are now looking at Tesla, and Tesla is Tesla. I say that often. Right, so as of right now, this is our pre-market support for Tesla, 219.68. Resistance is around the 220.39, and as you can see, that will be our zone that Tesla has been trading in this zone. So where are our trouble places for Tesla to the upside? If by chance we go back and break above the 220.37, just know that we could have trouble here at 220.85, above the 220.85, 221.39, above the 221.39, we could possibly have trouble at 221.99, above the 221.99, we could possibly have trouble again at this resistance area of 222.98, above 222.98, we could have trouble around 223.86. So those are trouble places to the upside for Tesla. Now to the downside, if by chance we break under this 219.68 area, just know that we could come back and have trouble here around 218.77, which brings us close to 218.76, right where that 50 EMA is. So under the 218.76, we can come back to around the 217.83 area. Under the 217.83, just know that the ATR trailing stop and the 200 EMA is really close, and a previous support area for Tesla is around the 217.23. So that area seems to be a strong area of support for Tesla, and that's around the 217.23 or 217.17, and what was the other one? 217.28. So yeah, I would watch at 217.23 if I traded Tesla today, because if we decline, we can come back to this area, find support, or if we should break this area, just know under the 217.23, we can also come back down to the 214.84 for Tesla and find support. And keep in mind, Tesla normally exceeds the ATR for the day. The ATR for Tesla as of today is $9.68, and that could be in either direction, to the upside or to the downside. Normally Tesla exceeds that amount. So if you trade Tesla, I always say trade carefully, and yeah, once it goes against your why, get out. Anything in the market, I always say anything is possible, but nothing is guaranteed. So we are now looking at AMD, and as you can see, AMD got rejected here at the 155.54 area. We came down. We're under the 5 EMA, 20 EMA, 50 EMA, only to find support in this area around the 154.16. So I would definitely watch this area, because is this going to be our support to take us back to the upside, or are we going to continue to come back to the gathering spot in this area, right? So where are our trouble places for AMD? If by chance we go back, let's say to the upside, if by chance we get back above this 5 EMA, which is around the 154.60, just know we could have trouble here at 154.82, above the 154.82, 155.08, above 155.08, 155.54. Now, if we break that 155.54, just know that we can have trouble here at the 156.18. Beyond 156.18, the ATR trailing stop is forming here, and I need to get that off. The ATR trailing stop is forming here at the 156.18. 106.49 area. So that's an area that I would watch AMD to the upside. Now to the downside, if we lose this support area of 154.02, I would definitely watch this area here. Under this brings us, we could possibly come back to the 153.66. Under 153.66, we can come back and retest 153.31. Under the 153.31, just know that we can come back to 153. Under 153, let's see, 152.64. Under 152.64, we could have trouble around the 152.53. Those are trouble places to the upside and to the downside for AMD. And let's see how much it normally moves per day. $6.10 per average on a daily basis, again, in either direction. So if you trade AMD today, I always say y'all trade carefully. Now, we are looking at NVDA. NVDA made a high of 130.93 pre-market. We closed at 129.37. So where are our trouble places for NVIDIA? As of now, we are under a previous 129.99 under the 5 EMA. We came down, bounced off this 20 EMA here, which was at the 129.60 area. So our trouble places, let's look to the upside. So if we get back above the 5 EMA, above 130.13, just know that we could have trouble in this area of 130.64. Above the 130.64, we can come back and retest this 130.92 or 130.93 area. Only, if we break past this area, 131.16 is going to be a trouble place for NVIDIA. Above the 131.16 or 131.18 area, just know 131.82, we could possibly have trouble in that area. Above 131.82, just know that we could possibly have trouble again here at the 132.28 or 132.29 area. So those are places to the upside for NVIDIA. Now to the downside, if we lose the support at the 20 EMA under 129.60, and it looks like it broke out of a gathering spot to the downside. However, this 20 was our support. If we lose that support at 129.60, just know we can come back to the 129.42, under 129.42, 129.17, under the 129.17, 128.85. Now, if we break under the 128.85 area, we have a lot of support. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger. We have a lot of support here for NVIDIA. This line, this line, this line, and this line that's forming. So I would definitely, let me see if I can go back. Yeah, I would definitely go watch the 128.55, the 128.47, the 128.39, and the 128.33. Those are places for NVIDIA that I would watch as support in this area. Why? Because that's a lot of support places that we can find here, bounce here, or we can continue to the downside. Now, if we break under this 128.33 area, which is around the ATR trailing stop, I would definitely, watch NVIDIA back down to the 127.48 or 127.49 area. So yeah, those are places to the upside and to the downside for NVIDIA. And keep in mind, it normally moves about $5.93, and that could be in either direction for NVIDIA. So I would say if we break under the 127.50 area, we can come back to 127.15. Under 127.15, we can come back and retest 126.41, and under the 126.41, we can come back to this previous gathering spot here, which is right where the 200 EMA is now at the 125.61 area. So those are places again for NVIDIA to the upside and to the downside. If you trade that NVIDIA, I always say y'all trade carefully. Let's look at MU just to see where we are today. Micron. So it looks as if we've been trading in this gathering spot here, 101.56, and resistance could be around this area of 102.28. So this is a zone. As you can see, price went up, but we came back. So price is meeting in this zone here, the gathering spot is what I like to say, right? So our trouble places for MU as of now, if it breaks above the 102.28, just know we can have trouble here at 102.52. Above the 102.52, we can have trouble at 103.01. Above the 103.01, we can come back to 103.39, which is right at the ATR trailing stop and the 50 EMA. So I would watch this area 103.39 45 as an area, a strong area of resistance. If we break that area, we could very well come back and retest 104.17, 104.18 area beyond the 104.18, 104.62, which is the 200 EMA, looking at it on this 30-minute chart. Now, to the downside, if we break this 101.56, just know that we can come back to 101.08, under the 101.08, $100.86 under the 186. Just know 131 is within reach. So if you trade MU today, I always say y'all trade carefully, and let's see, it normally moves $4.53 per day, and again, that could be up or down in either direction, right? So if you trade MU today, I always say y'all trade carefully. Now, SMCI is super micro. It is interesting. It is interesting. Let me say that as of right now, it is finding support at the 200 EMA and this ATR trailing stop. I look at this as strong support, right? The 5 and 50 did cross the downside, so we can bounce from here. So I always say, where are my trouble places? As of right now, this is our zone. Let's see. This would be our area of support for of SMCI. 608.48 is an area that I will definitely watch for support. Let me get out of that. And above the 608.98, I would watch that as a support area. Resistance was around here at the 611.46. I would watch this area, this zone. As you can see, price has been in this area. So above the 611.46, just know 611.86, 613.72, and above 613.72, 613.64, 72.64. All of this here is where the moving averages are crossing. So I would definitely watch this area. If we break above, which it very well can, 615.45 is another trouble place for us. So if you trade SMCI, just know if we get above 611.46, then we could possibly have trouble, past the 613.79. Let me get my numbers right. 613.79. Just know that we could have trouble in this area of 615, because SMCI moves really, really different. It reminds me of Netflix for some reason. It just moves different. 615.50, I would definitely watch that area. Above 615.50, 617.07. So those are places to the upside that I would watch for SMCI. Just know that it has a lot of issues. The moving averages here are just bunched together and moving. So I would watch this area of 613.50, around that area. If we break above that, it could possibly move. Now, to the downside, if we break under the 608.83 area, just know we could possibly have trouble at 606.90. Under the 606.90, we can come back and retest the 603.88. So I would definitely watch SMCI. If I traded that today, let's see how much it normally moves per day. $43.90. So it has a strong, $43 a day. That's why I said if we can get back above, the 613.70, it could possibly move back to the upside, but it has a lot of issues here at where the moving averages are. So again, if you trade SMC, I always say trade carefully, and once it goes against your why, get out. Make sure you have confirmation as to why you're entering your trades, right? So we're going to go back to do a recap of the SPY. This SPY is still in our zone here at that support level of 562.89. Now if we break that, we're right here where the 20 EMA in a previous support area. So I again would watch the 562.72 for the SPY. If we break under that, we can come back to 562.55. Under that, our support area was here at 562.29. So yeah, if you trade the SPY today, trade carefully. And y'all know I always like to say trade. Make sure you have confirmation, and once it goes against that, make sure pay attention to your charts, learning to read your charts, and following the directions as to where the charts are leading you. The charts are telling a story. We just have to learn to identify what that is, right? So yeah, I hope that everyone have a very profitable and very, very productive day today, y'all. And if you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe. And why? Because we learn and we grow together, right? So until next time, y'all, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.